Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our movie club. Today we will discuss a movie, Good Will Hunting. It's pretty old, but I think it's still good movie. It's a good movie to discuss. And one of the reasons why it's good to discuss, it's about English language that we have inside the movie. So the movie full of colloquial forms, slang, like real people talking or something like this. And we already discussed a few phrases in our chat, and one of them was a joke about Indians. Indians with dot and Indians with feathers. Teacher Lee, would you explain us the difference?
American Indians used to wear like feathers in a headband. It was kind of and the Indian chief wore a lot of feathers. So, American Indians are associated with feathers.
Yeah.
Asian Indians from India, the women always wear the dot between the eyes, like a red dot that indicates they're married. So in the movie, they call those the dot Indians as opposed to the American feather Indians.
Yeah. Do you understand, Sergey? Feather, it's a kind of what girls have.
Yeah, I understood.
When I was young and played like Indians and cowboys, I always had feather in my head. How we call this? Stripe or what? What is this?
Band?
Headband.
Headband. Okay. In my headband, I always have a feather. Yeah.
Me too.
you too. Okay. You will be surprised how much time we spent playing this game. Almost years. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to the movie, to the story itself, and please let me start because I'm not finished the movie. I'm a bad guy today, so I watched only maybe half of it. Yeah. So movie starts with our hero. His name is Will, and he's kind of bad guy. He's a adolescent. Can I say so? Yeah, adolescent who has many. How we call the event when you condemned by court or something.
Criminal or felon.
Felon. Okay. So he had a lot of felonies. Is it correct, teacher? Yes.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, he has a lot of felonies and he kind of assaulted people and he has a vast criminal history. But at the same time, he kind of genius. Yeah, he can solve math problems that no one can solve. Yeah, and let's continue the story. How we found this? How we found that he's a genius? But I think he's not only math genius. He can solve anything. Organic chemistry or biology. It does not matter for him. He just looks into the book, and in the next moment he is able to solve, the humankind problems which have not been solved for 20 years or something like this. Yeah. Gerard, would you please to continue to tell us more about this guy? Yeah, and especially how we found that he's a genius.
He's working in the MIT in Boston as a janitor. So he cleans the floor and everything. And there was a blackboard with a problem, with a math problem for the undergraduates. And he solved it. And the teacher was looking who was the one that did that because it wasn't any student. And he brought another problem, a different problem that took 2 years to him and his colleagues to solve. And also Bill, Matt Damon, solved the problem easily. And the professor thought that he was soiling the blackboard, but he realized that he was the genius that solved these problems and find out about his situation and agreed to help him. So he had to teach math to him and to visit some psychiatrist or psychologist.
Yeah, how we call this type of help when you like in charge for someone who supposed to be in prison? How we call this?
You talking about a person that's supposed to be in prison?
Yeah, this guy Will, he was like almost condemned already by the court, yeah, by the tribunal. But this professor, he like personally in charge with his adaptation or something. Wasans wrote parole or something, sponsored him.
Maybe a sponsor for parole. Yeah, could be. I'm not. I think they might call him sponsor. I'm not sure. Okay.
Okay. And why this guy Will? Why he was working in MIT as a janitor? Gerard, do you remember?
I think he loved science. So he loved the environment, I think.
But I had the impression that he has this job, janitor, and as long as different jobs, because it was like a, it was not his decision. It was by court. It was like a mandatory works for society. Actually, is it correct? Mandatory work or how?
It could be a mandated, kind of like community service or some kind of punishment. Yeah.
Because sure.
Yeah.
But when in the movie we see the psychologist that told him, why you are always walking around in the MIT, you know, asking him this. That's because you want to do something related to science. So I think he's working there because he likes science. It's not a casualty, you know, it's not.
Exactly. I remember that. That's why I asked it. You know, it's one line that psychologist told him, you just choose this MIT because you want to be close to like a real science. But there is another line when professor tried to find him. He went to office of these janitors. I don't know what's the name for this office, and asked, who is this worker? And the manager of janitors, he said, I don't know. He just walking there, his mandated house or something. So it's kind of strange thing in the movie. Okay, let's continue. Vasants, would you like to continue with the story?
Yes, and he found him from the court. He identified him, and he wanted to make him famous or something, because he knew that he is capable of doing such mathematical calculations or something. So he was trying to do him a favor, but the court ordered to appoint a counseling for him, a psychiatrist counseling for every week. So he appointed a couple of psychiatrists, but he pissed them off, I think, because his rude behavior, they couldn't counsel him. So they went, and after that, he went to the Robert Williams, who happened to be his old schoolmate, and and he tried some different things, some different approaches towards him.
Okay. Yeah. Let's speak about this later. Yeah, so he found like a special guy because this patient is a very special one. Yeah, so he mocked and disrespect all these psychologists, and actually he played them, I would say. Yeah, he like understands their intent and mocked them after. So he just demonstrates that I'm smarter than you. I can play you. You cannot play me. Yeah? So it was So actually in the movie he actually made these psychologists cry, you know, just by talking with them. Yeah. I kind of liked this moment. Yeah, but they found a special guy. We will speak about this later. And as Vasan mentioned, this guy is very talented to math. But I think it's a very like mild expression. Do you remember, Vasan, this moment when he like fired up, tried to burn his paper with math deduction? Do you remember? And
yes.
Yes. Could you explain this scene? please?
Yes, because he was trying to the professor was trying to solve that theorem for years, but he just solved it quickly, and he didn't even care about it. It doesn't matter to him. So and once he was upset, then he just burned that, and he just said, "It's just it's nothing to me." He said, "It's just nothing to me," and it's a matter of seconds. So he expresses his ability in those words.
Yeah, it was a nice line to show us how smart he is, you know. So let me try to describe it again with my words. So he bring like some proof of some theorem to professor, and professor started to read it slowly, just to try to understand, and was not able to comprehend it fastly. And Will was so bored. He said, "Well, do you understand how humiliating it to me to watch this process, you know? Because for me, it's not something important. For me, it's just a joke, you know? I don't care about it." And he tried to burn this paper. And professor was like, you know, in awe. He tried to distinguish it, and he said, it was like a moment of what? Moment of, just, I don't know, help me. What? He kind of admitted, yes, that their level is enormously different. Yes, they are almost not comparable, not on the par. Yeah.
Compared with Will, Lambeau was dumb.
Yeah, but Lambeau was the one, we have not covered it, but was the one who got like a very precious
medal
over in a mass like society, in mass contest, Okay, so psychologist, yes, this roommate of Lambeau, why he's so special? Why what he's trying to do? Sergey, would you like to explain us?
Yes, psychologist is named Sean, started to work with Will, and he noticed that Will played him, and Sean started to resist of Will, and several times they fight each other, and sometimes psychologists tell story about his meeting with girlfriend when he missed the very famous game, 6-game Red Sox in the semifinals, and in 17th when one player's I don't know the correct rule in the baseball, and he make a run of the ball, and it was a famous moment of this game. A lot of American, maybe included teacher Lee, remember this moment, and Will asked to Sean, why do you miss this game? It's a game of the dreams, but I met a very interesting girl, and I very simply changed the game for my girlfriend. This girlfriend in future started to my wife, and we didn't understand this, and they started to discuss it, and after that they found a small bridge between each other, and they start to discuss about Will problems because they shown in the past lives in the similar district like Will's district.
Yeah. So in 2 words, how we can say? We can say that this like professor, I don't know, professor his or not his, this doctor found a way, found a bridge how to connect, how to relate with Will, how to make him to be sincere. Yeah, teacherly sincere is correct way to say.
Yeah.
Sincere and kind of exposed because of feelings and so on. So he found a way how to manipulate is a bad word with a negative connotation, but what is a good word? When you are a mentor for someone, when you trying to to make something good, to direct the person.
Mentor, coach.
Yeah. So he's trying to mentoring this guy. He's trying to help him to find a better way to stop this. What's the word for this? What he gang life? I don't know how to say it. Like to live in a gang in Brooklyn and where he was. Jar, do you remember the place where he was born?
Will was an orphan, so he lived during his childhood in foster care, and he was abused in some of those places. So that's the reason he had this bad behavior. So the Maguire, the psychiatrist, helped him to realize about that. And in one moment, he started to cry with him. He gave solace to him. So that was the moment he was Will was aware of his problem.
Okay. But what's the name of this place where Will lived? Bronx or Brooklyn? I forgot.
No, it's in Boston.
Boston.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's interesting how different is the experience. So this guy kind of a genius, but he never left his Boston, and he not experiencing nothing, and I kind of enjoyed the conversation. What do you think about their conversation? Was it interesting for you to hear? Have you cried a bit, George?
What do you mean?
I mean this conversation between Will and Maguire, when they talk it all this, the movie it's actually about dialogues. My impression, So did you enjoy these moments?
What I don't understand is the picture that appears like the movie, because the background is like orange, and they always are interacting inside a room. But
not always. Do you remember this one time? One time they went to this lake.
Okay. So this picture is in the lake.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was a lake and forest and a lot of swans, and Will tried to attack Maguire with his usual, jokes like, "Do you have a fetish about swan? Why we go there?" or something. Yeah. He kind of bad-mannered guy. Can I say so? Guy with a bad manners,
Impolite
and very he uses very obscene lexic, obscene talking,
Profanity?
A lot of profanity, inside the movies, We can get a lot of slang from this,
But we didn't talk about something important,
Please.
Will met a woman that is studying medicine in Harvard. He's British, and he wants to establish a relationship with her. There is a moment where Will's friend, done by Ben Affleck, was trying to make advances with those girls, and some other guys from the college wanted to attack him to say that you are stupid, and Will went back and showed that he was smarter and he had a lot of knowledge.
So it was kind of a place for students, and they all showing off how they are smarter than average person, and they tried to humiliate his friend Affleck, and Will talk it back. Can we say talk it back actually?
Sometimes usually you talk back to an authority figure.
Okay. So if we are equal, it's all bar conversation, and someone trying to humiliate me, to make fun of me, and I answer.
We probably call it a retort. Yeah.
Retort. Okay. Nice word. Yeah. Jürgen, do you remember this line in the bar with ladies?
Yes. I do. Yeah.
And do you remember what happened after this conversation?
No.
No, I kind of liked this line. This lady, he went to him and said, "I'm here waiting for 45 minutes when you when you will ask for my phone, but you not so smart. So that's my phone." So you see, this guy smart, but not too smart. Okay, so what we forget to cover, and where is our happy end? Jürgen, would you like to tell something about the movie? About these lines, your favorite scenes, something? Or continue with story?
About that hug, it was very emotional.
Yep.
And no, I don't know something special right now, but maybe later.
Okay, so let's ask Vasant. Vasant, could you please continue with the story? I have not watched it, so please spoil the, please make spoilers for me.
Yeah. In the climax, actually the professor wanted him to take a job that is appropriate for his mental abilities, but we are, as per the movie's chronological order, we were thinking that he is going to get that job, but later he revealed that he doesn't want that job, and he wrote a letter to the Robin Williams, the psychiatrist, and he put it on the letter box in front of his house, and he went on his car, and at the same time his colleague, his friend Ben Affleck was checking him on his room as usual, standing in front of his home and knocking on the door, and Robin Williams was opening the letter, and it has the words that he don't tell the professor that I didn't take this job, and tell him that I was about to see a girl, I think, right? So, and Robin Williams cussed him with a smile, right? Son of a bitch, he stole my lines, right? He did that in the past. So, and he, with a smile, he went in, and we all get to know that Bill was going to see his girlfriend. So that's what he really wants. He was going after his life. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Please.
This girl had to go to study to California. So from Boston to California, asked Will to come with her because Will didn't have any important job. Actually, Will was working in building with Ben Affleck, you know, and Ben Affleck was expecting he could do something better because Ben Affleck was a little dumb, but not so dumb to recognize that Will was very clever and could have something better in life. So Will split up with Skylar, with the girl, but at the end, as Vasant said, he decided to go to California with a car that Ben Affleck and his friends, an old car, gave to him.
Mm-hmm. Vasant, please.
Yes, and I like the soundtrack so much because, as you see earlier, this movie is mostly based on dialogues. It doesn't have so many actions or doesn't have any edge of the seat moments. So it's a feel-good movie. You can sit back on your chair and listen to the whole scenario with the beautiful background music. That's really uplifting. It's a memorable. How to say that? It's a remarkable soundtrack in this movie.
Okay. Sergey, do you remember this story about NCA or who tried to hire him? Who tried to hire you?
MCA?
NSA.
NSA.
I don't know what is NSA. Yes. I remember this moment when the guys from NSA try to give the job for this Will, and the Will very clever explains them why he didn't work for them.
Yeah, why? Can you explain us?
To be honest, I don't remember.
Okay, Jean, do you remember?
Yes. So those guys from the NSA wanted to take advantage of Will's skills to decode, you know, and Will explained a story that they would use his abilities to maybe kill some people from a poor country, you know, to get some economical advantages and make an elaborate story, very, very good, very nice, very clever. And tell, no, thank you. I know I don't want to be responsible of you killing people because I decode something.
Yeah, and don't forget that this guy, he's kind of an expert in history, yeah? So he just knew how it usually ends. Okay, guys, anything else about the movie? So romantic story, right? Right at the end. So we love always win. Vasant, please?
Yeah, yes, and we forgot to mention that this story was written by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. So I think nobody could have written this plot very close to our heart because they were at the same age of Will at that time, and they could relate themselves to that age group, and they written their such characters, and it was really close to the heart. We can relate ourselves to that.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. So story not based on any books, not based on any story, just written by these two guys. Yeah, and the story is very believable. Yeah, we can believe it, we can trust it because looks like it's from the. There was an idiom for that. It's a story from a horse mouth or something like this. Teacher, do you remember?
From the horse's mouth, yeah.
From the horse's mouth.
from the original source, yeah.
Usually, but why it's horse? Why not rabbit?
I'm not sure why we use a horse for that. We have an expression, horse sense, like common sense. We believe the horses have good sense. They do things that are smart. So if you hear from the horse's mouth, you got the advice right from the source. I don't know why.
Okay, what I read about this like sayings or idiom, it was originally made for horse races, you know. So should I put money to this horse? Yes, I hear this from the horse's mouth.
The horse said, "I'm gonna win."
Yeah. That's in a good form.
Okay. Yeah, if you read Wikipedia about this movie, Matt Damon actually wrote this script as a homework assignment, as a college assignment.
Wow.
So it's kind of interesting. And then he got Affleck to help him, and they made a movie out of it. So it was actually written by him in college as an assignment. So it's kind of weird.
Yeah. So he kind of played himself. Yeah, very talented guy. Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah. Interesting.
And he looks very young, you know, in the movie. He's actually 27, but he's playing a 21 years old guy, and he looks like 21.
Yeah. Yep,
okay. Did we cover the story? Anything else? What we forgot? Anything important?
I think we covered almost everything.
Okay. We have a few questions. Thank you, Vasant. We have a few questions on our Padlet. Please don't hesitate to write more. Sergey, please. You have a comment?
I want to ask about this moment when the Will beats the police officer. In the Russia, it's a very, very dangerous event. If you beat the policeman, you will
pay fine.
sent to the prison, and you will have a lot of problem. But in the US, I think there's a similar situation. But this movie, the Will Hunting, didn't have the big problem with the loan. It's strangely.
Yeah, first of all, I should say that we live in different Russias as well. So as always, so from my experience, I know like a hundreds example when people attack policemen and then receive like small fine, like 10 bucks. So I don't think it's a dangerous thing to attack a policeman. Yeah, but guys, don't do that. Yeah, don't do.
I don't know about
anyway. Okay, so but in the US, it's probably it's not a good thing. Yeah, they kind of can shoot you. Yeah, in no time.
Especially if you are black.
If you reach in your pocket, don't reach in your pocket.
And don't play with toy guns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the question was why Will did not have too much consequences. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Sergey? Yeah. Okay. So why, guys? Why he didn't have consequences? We don't know, Sergey, because if police shoot him, there is no movie. So,
Okay. You explained me.
it's the only explanation what I can think about. And I'm constantly make the same mistake. Teacher corrected me a few times in the chat. So you explain it to me. We explain to us. So explain
Right.
to looks like it's always together. Yeah, teacher me.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So I don't remember. I didn't see the scene in the movie, but our policemen are trained not to shoot unless their lives are in danger. So if you just hit them with your fists, they probably aren't going to shoot you. But if you come at them with a knife or pull out a gun, they will shoot you dead fast. So, but if you just are fighting and there's not an imminent threat of death, they're not supposed to use their weapon. So I don't know what happened in the movie, but they won't shoot you if you just grab them and wrestle with them. They shouldn't.
Okay, good to know. But I still not a fan, of fighting with a policeman. Yeah.
Yeah, not a good thing to do.
Because they think they're trained more than I am. Yeah.
Presumably, yeah.
Yeah. At this time, he was 20. I think his age might have something to do with this fight with the policeman. Maybe he is a minor or something. He's a juvenile or something.
Yep.
I don't know about the American law. Maybe.
Depend of the state, I think.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, I'm going to copy question from our Padlet. So, what do you think about Will's deductions on the first counselor he met? Is that a guess? I actually don't remember what was his deduction.
Think
He
but
thought he was okay.
Okay. So yeah, he read a book from this counselor, yeah, and he kind of implying, yeah, what he said. Is it hard for you to hide that you are gay? Yeah? And professor was like denying. What are you talking about? Yeah, right. Was it just insult, or he like I don't know, discovered this? I don't understand from the movie.
in Spanish, we have a saying that says the truth offends. So if you are offended, it's probably that it's true. Otherwise, he shouldn't be offended if it's not true.
Yeah. We have to say the same saying. Usually, is it understandable for you? The truth hurts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a common international thing. Okay. So I think we already covered the second question. It was about assaulting a policeman. So Sergey, was it your question on a Padlet? No?
I think in my country, I think I don't know about Ivan experience, but I think that it will be very, very bad for me because it's a Russian police officer. It's not very friendly.
They are not friendly, but if you have $10, it's okay. You will just pay it.
But I think
Maybe $100.
Okay. Teacher Lee, sorry.
I was just going to say, when you attack someone when you attack someone in America, they have the victim has an option to press charges or not. If they feel like you just got angry and they understand it, they may not press charges. They may not register that with the police that you assaulted them. So if that policeman, felt sorry or sympathy for Will, he may not have pressed charges. So no crime was committed and he could go free. So that may be what happened.
Yeah. And I can imagine this.
I have one question. I have one question about, and I didn't hear your speech about the skin of people. If we'll would be a black person, will he beat the police officer and will have the problem with the
So you
police?
implied that there is some discrimination and a black person would be like treated differently by police. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think base it on statistics, but like.
But one thing, the situation. Remember the situation. There was a fight. Will was inside the fight, and the police officer tried to separate the people. But Will, in an act of a reflex, hit the police. But it's not the same as attacking directly to the police officer. So it was a reflex. I think it wasn't so important.
Yeah. He probably wasn't aware that it's a policeman.
In the heat of the battle.
Yeah. He was inside of the battle, in the middle of the battle. So probably, as teacher Lee said, policeman just did not press charges. Yeah. Also, I have another explanation. What if a policeman just enjoyed this battle? Just
Fight club. made my day exciting.
I like to start my morning with a little bit of fist fighting or something like this to feel refreshment. Yeah. So another question. Will was taken to a guy in the bar about getting the education for 150 that can be learned from a public library for $1. What is your opinion on that? So I think for some that numbers were different. So numbers were like maybe 150,000 or something. So Will just compared, he said, you pay for your education in a university just a enormous amount of money. But I paid for my education like $1 as a ticket for two public library. And as you can see, I know everything what you know. So why you have to pay more? But guy has an answer. Do you remember this answer? Sergey, do you remember the answer from this bad guy?
And I have opinion about it, and the guy answers that I will have the good relationships after my university education, but you will not have these relationships, and in several years I will have the good job with the 100,000 per year, but instead you, it's a head. It's a head result of the university education, in my opinion. The knowledge in 20% maybe, but not 20. Okay, 50% the knowledge and 50% the good relationships with your colleagues.
Yeah, we call it like network. Networking. Yeah. So people with whom you going to play golf after. Yeah, it's important. Yeah,
correctly.
And he kind of tried to insult Will and saying, I will go to my something mansion in a car and you will selling McDonald's things to me, something like this. I forgot exactly, but it was a good answer. Yeah. So do you think that it's still important, this networking things about networking and diploma? Is it important in Spain, Gerard? So what is more important, knowledge or networking?
But I think you eventually need to prove that you are good in a job. When you are in a job, you need to prove that good, because there are many people who have degrees.
Yep.
It's not that important as in America, I think. In America, you need to go to a very important university with a good name, and then that opens all the doors, I think.
Yeah.
Is it right? Is it right, actually? If you know, almost nothing, but you are from Ivory, do you call this Ivory League? Yeah?
Ivy League.
Ivy League? You are from Ivy League? Yeah. You are from Ivy League and you know everyone, so your career is good, right?
We have a saying, you've got it in Russia, they've got it in Spain. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah, we have this, yeah.
You want a good job, it doesn't matter how smart you are, you can't get in unless you know someone.
Okay, Sergey, who you know to get your position on your job?
Repeat, please.
Yeah. What was the guy who you know that you got this position on your factory? I'm joking about networking. You know, I'm joking about networking. I'm joking that who was the guy who took you, you know, and put on this position?
No, it's me.
You didn't cheat.
It's me and my knowledge. My knowledge. It's a lucky. It's all. But I wanted to talk about the comparing between this guy from the university. Is the Will Hunting is not correct, because the Will Hunting is unique person, is a talented. We have to compare the guy and the friend of Will Hunting. It's the correct compare. The friend of Will Hunting will working as a janitor and the similar, but this guy from university will work as a financial assistant, financial analytic.
Okay, let me ask you them. If this guy, friend of will have money, would have money, and go to university and make some networking, do you think he will work like, you know, in a big corporation, like a boss, even if he is dumb?
But not maybe. Maybe yes, I don't know. And in Russia we have some examples.
Yeah, we have a lot here. I know. Gerard?
I want to make a question to Teacher Lee. What about Lambeau? Could Lambeau make that the university could give a degree to Will Hunting if he is able to prove in exams that he has all the knowledge, you know, all the skills to have a degree, or not?
I've read cases in the paper where young kids, prodigies, like a teenager prodigy, can get a college degree. I don't know how that works. The Lambeau himself, no. The college board has to confer the degree, but they might be able to let him take some tests and examine himself and give him a degree based on some exams. I don't know how that works, but it's possible to let teenagers have gotten college degrees before, even though they're not really the right age to go through 4 years of college. And I think they do it by examination only. So I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah.
But you have to at least take some tests. Yeah.
I'm not sure about America either, but I watched this example in my university. So we had a guy in my group in university who spent 1.5 years for a program that considered it for 5 years. So wow. He just passed all the exams. He wrote his dissertation and he got his diploma in 1.5 years. Yeah, and I spent for this like much more. Yeah. So if you could pass all the exams in Russia, they don't care that you have not visited all the classes and all those things. Yeah, just pass them. Okay, let's go full fuser. Will had the cigarette and igniters inside the prison. Does your country's prison allow such activity? Sergey, you have the most experience about prisons, probably in Russia.
But I didn't, and I don't, and I hope that I will not have the prison experience. And but I heard about a lot of information about prisons, and in Russian prisons you could have the cigarettes and the fire. It's normal because we are people. It's a normal. And you couldn't have the knives, you couldn't have the arms and the drugs, cigarettes, tea, and in Russian prisons, a lot of person make a special liquid, and in Russian name chefir, and a lot of tea inside the one glass.
Okay.
Very happy.
Don't explain this, for public. Yeah, just that's just special. Yeah, special.
It's illegal.
It's legal, yeah. Okay, it's legal. So yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of a replacement for alcohol or for drugs, yeah. And they made it from tea, yeah, from a lot of tea. Yeah. They like extract all the caffeine and put it in a small amount of water, and it works supposedly, allegedly. I don't know. Yeah. So, but we have, yeah, we can have in Russia, you know, some things like igniters and all those things, and even TV set or something like this. It's all possible. No problem with this. Usually,
I don't know how they light their cigarettes in prison, but do you remember the old cigarette lighters in cars? You used to push something in, and the metal would get hot, and then you would just touch the cigarette to the metal, and it would cool off. Maybe they use something like that. That's just like a temporary light, and then it gets cool. I don't know. It's a good question.
What's else?
Yes, actually, the igniter was the cover of the matchbox. He had it without the inner box that carries the match sticks. So he just had the outer cover and one cigarette and one matchbox. He ignited it with that.
Okay, matches. Okay.
Okay. But maybe he wasn't like actually in prison. He was like how we call these guys who are waiting for tribunal, who are waiting for their court. Are they in prison or are they in special like places?
No, we say they're out on bail.
On bail, yeah. Out on bail. Okay.
Yeah.
Gerard?
In Spain,
awaiting court. I'm sorry.
In Spain, we had a lighter without flame. You know, there was a device that with a rope and a spark. You know, like make a spark and burn the rope.
Yeah.
I don't know system. Very old system. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, guys, you always, you know, amaze me with your experience. I have nothing to add. Yeah, we have very few time, so I ask you to go to our favorite part, you know, slides. So I'm going to share a picture. Okay, present to everyone. Okay, Good Will Hunting, as always, with a nice font.
Let me ask one question that I've always wondered. The title of this movie, Good Will Hunting.
Yep.
Why is that title sounds strange to me? Why is the word good there? What I mean, when I first saw it, I thought it's like goodwill hunting for goodwill.
But hunting
really,
is a family name. Is hunting.
Right. So Will Hunting is okay, but why good Will Hunting? He wasn't good. He was a felon, right? A criminal. The movie title just seems strange to me. Okay.
I think he was good deep inside, you know. He was a good guy, but because he was assaulted in childhood and because he was in the wrong district of Brooklyn, yeah, it happened to him.
Okay.
Okay, Gerard, please, can you start?
This is Ben Affleck, I think. Is that Will's home?
House, yeah, home.
House, okay, very, you know, old, in bad shape. A lot of garbage everywhere. Made by wood. Almost everything is made by wood, lumber. Some air conditioning on the ground. Put more things as junk, no?
Junk, yep.
A table, a roller. How do you call that? This roll that you put a wire around?
Spool.
A spool.
So I don't understand. What is a spool? What's spool?
Oh, okay. We call that wooden table is actually a cable spool.
A cable spool, okay.
Or electrical cable.
Ah, okay, I understand now. So it's I have a lot of on my job, yeah.
It's like a table. They turned it over and made a table out of it.
Yeah.
That's for large cable. Electrical cable, yeah. Spool. All right. I didn't even notice it, Gerard. Good.
Yeah, sometimes we have in the campground we have that, and we need to watch that because it's very expensive because the cable is are made by copper. You know, and copper is expensive.
Mm.
Yeah. Nowadays it's all fiber, no? Fiber optic, I mean.
Okay, optical fiber.
Optical fiber, yeah. Okay, anything else? Porch, wooden steps, rope. I don't know why, but it looks like a landfill or something. You know, where neighbor, all the neighbor, you know, put their junk there.
The wall, the house walls, those look kind of like shingles. They overlap.
Yeah, shingle. Nice.
Shingles.
Yeah, I think we got enough from this picture. Yeah. But what on the left side we can see some kind of balloon, yeah, some blue thing on the earth. Can you see it, like gas balloon or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and on the top of this balloon, it's something strange. What is this?
Maybe it might be a vacuum cleaner, but I can't tell.
Yeah. But on the top of this vacuum cleaner or something, what is this kind of stripe?
It looks like a tank tread.
Yeah. That's why I'm asking. You know.
I don't know.
Yeah, but thread is a good word to know. You know. It can be useful. Okay, Jorgen, please, can you describe this picture?
Okay, so please finish. Yeah, it's a lecture going on, and what do you call this? There are two of them. We call them overhead here in Sweden. You can show charts, for example, on a board. Is them overhead projectors? Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And the clear plastic we call a transparency. So that they write on the transparency and then project it up on the wall. Yeah.
Okay. What else? Steps. An aisle with wide steps. Or
little racks. Can I say it's racks?
Rack.
I see.
We call them mats. If they're real small, we call them mats.
So small white mats on these chairs, or not chairs, like leather. How aisles. Okay, what about this? What about the student's desk?
It has a small, it has a small writing surface. We call those student desks. Yeah.
And it's probably removable. I don't know how it's like a cabriolet, you know, convertible, yeah, convertible, or not?
Usually not. Usually it's fixed.
Okay, Vasant, please.
Yes, and what's on the thing on the wall of both sides of the blackboard? Is that an AC compartment? Okay.
You're talking about by the... Those look like they're probably heaters or air conditioners.
Vasant, we know that you're from India. You don't you don't need them.
I definitely need this.
Yeah, it's a sink to make you hot inside. Yeah, so it's a battery or something. Heater. Okay, anything else? We can go, Fuser. Okay. So it's from Sergey. Could you describe it?
There is a corridor of MIT, and with the special boxes for dress and for students, and we have one boards for formals, for other examples, and there is a bucket for janitors. There is a special devices for this shaving machine, the green devices and the pink devices. I don't know what is a shelf.
Strange circles. What is this? It's a clothes for washing machine.
Yeah,
do you understand?
maybe.
Yes.
This particular kind of machine he's using has like circular brushes.
Yeah.
And it's used to polish the floor and make it shiny. We call it a buffer. Yeah.
And there's a corridors of brackets, very beautiful brackets. I like this design.
Bricks.
And bricks. Yeah, bricks.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Mhm.
And the one pipe for switch, maybe, I don't know. That's all.
Pipe. You're talking about this conduit on the left, right?
Two pipes.
Yeah. Usually, remind me how we call pipe or conduits. In what case we call?
Well, conduits are usually smaller. These are large, so I'm thinking these might be pipes of some kind.
Okay.
Or they might just be metal supports. They don't look like pipes for water or conduits. They might just be metal supports. Not very pretty, are they?
Gerard, please.
I think the floor is made by granite. These are strong material.
Could be, yeah.
And it's very strange that he have to polish granite. It's something new for me. We usually polish only wooden floor in Russia. So granite, no.
Not. We have the polish for granite now. We have the special machine in the trade centers with the special floor.
Okay, looks like I have not been in Russia for too long. Okay, I don't know. I lost my roots.
Yep.
Okay, Sergey, sorry for interruption. Anything else? What you want to on this picture? Any questions?
Maybe not.
Can we call the opening where the doors are?
Just doorway, no special name.
No.
It's not an arch or something. Arch.
No, an arch is round on top.
Okay.
I have one. I'm sorry. I have one question. Where is the special device for fireboard? The red.
Fire extinguishers.
Fire extinguishers. Yeah, usually they're visible. Here, there's no fire extinguishers. There's a fire alarm up on the wall above his head. There's a little red box. So that's a fire alarm. Probably back behind him is a fire exit sign. But I don't see any fire extinguishers. That's unusual. Usually they're on the wall somewhere.
Actually, do you remember the movie Stargate? We discussed this extinguisher and I forgot another one. When we have a hose, this fire hose, how we call this?
Well, they're usually a fire hose station.
Fire hose station. Okay, nice. Repetition and practice makes perfect.
Another thing, the roof is a dome shape. It looks a dome. The roof.
The ceiling.
The ceiling.
A little curved, yeah.
Yes, maybe because it's an old building.
Yep.
And the bricks from the walls. I don't. How do you call these bricks that are all compact? Everything is. They don't have holes in the middle. It's called compact bricks.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. No mortar. The stuff between bricks we call mortar. It holds them together. So you're saying there's no mortar? It's just brick to brick? I don't know.
Bricks usually have holes in the middle. So, but those bricks are compact. Everything is filled.
Now sometimes the bricks are fake. We have like a surface that we can put on the wall like wallpaper, and it looks like brick, but it's fake. So I don't know if these are real brick or it looks real, but I don't know.
Yeah, and speaking of this design of these bricks, I can show you small insight about Russia. If you are in Russia and you can see exactly this design with bricks, you probably caught by KGB and you now in prison because we we don't have this bricks wall anywhere except prisons maybe or something else. We always have them decorated by some. I don't know,
Really?
some,
Huh, okay.
yeah. So bricks is for stables, you know, for horses and for prisons. No, not more. Yeah. Bye bye, Gerard. We will see you later. Okay. Let's do a few more because I know we are out of time, but there are some. Okay, Jürgen, could you please? Oh, sorry, Vatsants, could you please describe this picture?
Yes, in this scene, Ben Affleck was flirting with the girls on the bar, and suddenly this long-haired guy appeared and started talking about financial thing that Ben Affleck was lying about. So he started to embarrass him with some educational terms, and suddenly Matt Damon appears and started to recite whatever he learned from the public library and make him embarrassed. So at this scene, that's what happened, and there was a flag of America, and I can see nothing.
Yeah, American flags and some poster on the right. Yeah, on the right and left side, some posters. Yeah. With some ladies, I presume, but it's not really clear. And I think we described this scene, yeah, in the story. So he had the guy has a glass with beer, presumably. What else? Glass of beer, yeah. Not much, yeah. Let's go. Yeah, it's a moment that I covered when they try to find the guy. Yeah. Jürgen, could you please describe? There are a lot of details on this picture.
Yeah, here he's coming to car.
Kind of janitor office or something, you know, manager of janitors.
Okay. And the man to the right is a professor or something.
It was a joke, Jürgen. You know, the professor came here with his assistant. And when those guys started to talk impolitely with professor, assistant said, like, it's a professor. And this guy said that another guy is a professor too. It was like a joke, you know.
Yeah. Okay, and what do you call the thing on the biggest thing on the table?
That's a vise. Vise, V-I-S-E, vise. You can turn a little crank and the metal opens up and you put something in there. And you turn the crank and it holds something very firm. So a vise.
Sorry, okay. The vise, what else? Metal table. Why it's metal? I don't know, but we have the same. A lot of conduits, no smoking sign, hose, extinguisher, a lot of tools on the left.
If you look at the kind of like bulletin board above the desk,
yep,
you'll notice that it has little holes in it.
Yep.
We call that peg board. You have little metal hooks you put in the holes, and you can hang tools and things on it.
Yeah, yeah, I see. Okay. Actually, can you see this device on the left side? It has two wheels and it's kind of transport.
We call it a hand truck.
Hand truck. Okay.
Some people call it a dolly. You put something heavy on it and then you lean it and you can roll like a refrigerator or a heavy load or a washing machine. Yeah, we call them hand trucks.
Okay.
Very, very useful for a one man to move a heavy load.
Yeah, yeah. I had such things in Spain. In Spain, I didn't have a car, and I went to market for shopping, you know, with such thing.
Yeah, you can buy little small ones for like grocery bags or something, or
Yep,
suitcases. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very popular there. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, anything else? Sergey, I think it's you have asked some questions. It's your usual like place, working place, no?
Yes, and when I work as electric monter and electric engineers, I had the similar places for my workers and for me, and it's similar, and with it's a my it's a my it's a my I don't know how say it in the Rodina
Motherland. Yeah.
motherland. Yep.
So you have a bit of deja vu, yeah? Seeing this.
Yeah. No smoking, no smoking course, but all workers are smokes. Are smoking. It's okay. No TV. Like we have TV. Yeah.
Do you have domino there? Actually, do you know
Yeah.
this game? Domino.
Yeah.
Actually, do you
Dominoes,
know
yeah,
what?
yeah.
Okay. So dominoes is somehow the main thing on Russians, like for Russians who works like a janitors or something. I don't know why.
The most
Okay.
popular game for electrics and the monters and the janitor for all workers.
It's interesting to note that on the peg board, on the bulletin board, there
Yep.
are 3 clipboards hanging, and the
Yes.
man on the right has a clipboard in his hand.
Yeah.
We call
And
them
he-
clipboards because the top has a clip.
Okay, nice.
So in Windows, when you Control C, you copy something onto the clipboard, and it holds it there temporarily, and then you can paste it from the clipboard into your document. So the
Exactly.
Windows clipboard comes from this real life clipboard.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, good to know. Yeah. And this guy on the right, he is looking for Will Hunting name in his clipboard because it's kind of schedule table or something like that.
Okay. So this is the janitor's workroom or something?
Kind of their office. So the
Okay.
guy on the left is the main one. He's in charge of schedule and all these things. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next one. I'm trying to fine. Okay, Sergey, please, it's for you.
There is a place for courts, and we saw special tables for judges, and we have special tribune for advocates and the other lawyers.
Yeah,
And we have,
let's ask Teacher Lee. It's interesting thing, I think, to describe all these, positions. So on the top, I think it's a judge, right?
Right. The judge sits at the bench,
It's the bench. Okay.
and no one can approach the bench without the judge's permission. You may approach the bench.
Okay.
Okay.
And near to judge, there is a guy. Who is he?
I don't know who he is. Usually there's a witness stand where the speaker, the witness, sits. I don't know. I've never seen this position in front of the judge's bench. I've never seen that before, so that's different to me.
It used to be beside.
Is he a lawyer or what is he?
I can't remember actually, but probably it's not a witness. Yeah.
Okay, sometimes there's a court recorder. Usually it's a woman. They will write down everything spoken in the court.
Actually, I think this woman is on the right, with a white shirt. On the right there is a woman.
She looks like a policeman though. They do have security in a courtroom. They're called the bailiffs. Bailiffs are security officers in a courtroom. Seems like there's 2 of them. One inside where the witness is. This is an unusual. This must be a prison courtroom because there's a metal gate with the lock where the witness can't come out. I've never seen that before, so this is an unusual courtroom in my experience.
Mm-hmm.
The lawyers sit at a table. The attorneys sit at their own table. Okay.
And there is only one table with attorneys, but on the left we can see another table. So probably it's like a special event, maybe not a court itself, some kind of preparation or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Sergey, do you have a question?
Yes. What is the flag in the left of the judge? The white flag with the blue signs.
That's usually a state flag. On the left side, you have the American flag, and usually the state flag is on the other side. Maybe that's the Massachusetts state flag.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I don't know what it looks like. We don't know state flags in America. We don't learn those.
We neither. Vasant, do you have a question or comment?
Yes. I was about to talk about the guy in front of the judge. We usually have the recorder who types everything with a typewriter. Whatever the judge says, to note down the points and all the confessions the witness says. So they type them all. But the position is not the same as ours. Usually it sit in front of the judge, but the direction was on sideways. So if I'm looking at you, then he will look like this direction. Yeah.
Okay. Have you noticed that we have like two types of security there? So one of them two of them in the white shorts, bailiffs, as teacher Lee noticed it, and another guy like a policeman. Probably he's not a. He's just making claims there.
Maybe a witness. Maybe he's the guy that that was attacked.
Yep.
So he may be there to testify. Yeah.
Testify. Okay. Okay, Sergey, would you like to continue? So for interruption, we always interrupt you, but you see it's for dictionary to false. Yeah.
But I think that we
finished.
Discuss about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So phone in the center looks nice. I like this type of phones. Yeah. Emergency light on the left and strange like network. How we call this actually with a thing with the holes under the this light, emergency light. We have a like metal thing with many holes.
On the bench or
on the left, on the top of the door.
Oh, that. I guess that's just a ventilation grill. I don't know. I've never seen that before either.
Yeah. So you call it grill, like
yeah, grill, like on a car.
Like what we use for frying meat, for cooking. Yeah, grill.
Yeah. Also, the front of a car, that silver part on the very front of a car, we call the grill also.
Okay.
So it's kind of a perpendicular pattern is a grill. Yeah.
Okay.
So that may be for ventilation.
Yeah. It's totally new for me. Yeah.
You can see conduit going to the light.
Mm-hmm.
For the electrical cables.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a little fence gate, chain link fence door, so that the witness can't run out into the jury and hurt someone.
Mm-hmm.
You can just jump over.
How you call these curtains behind the judge? Just curtains?
I've never seen that before. Just curtains. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's make one more. I'm choosing a picture with more details. Okay, this one is good. What sounds? Would you like to describe the story and the picture? What sounds, please?
Yes. At this point, Will melts down, and he realized what he really wants in his life, and he hugs Robin Williams. And there are a lot of books and curtains, posters on the wall, a table lamp, stools, sofas with a pillow, and bags on the table, a teapot. What do you call the small stool on a small table in front of the sofas?
Coffee table.
Coffee table.
Coffee table. So,
Have you noticed this kind of cabinet on the right? It looks interesting. Cabinet for papers, I think.
I think that's a desk, but that's the drawers in a desk.
Yeah, on the right, right? On the right of the desk. But on the left, we have a like taller thing.
On the left, there's only a table, right?
I mean, we have a table, a desk on the right side, yeah? And it has a
okay. But the tall one, yeah, the tall one's a file cabinet, yeah.
File cabinet, yeah.
Standalone, yep.
And I like design of the windows, those windows, yeah, it looks nice.
What's on top of the file cabinet? Looks like some kind of ugly head or something. I can't tell.
Yeah.
Something with a big red eye or something. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Maybe a lamp.
Maybe. There are a lot of books and well, I don't know. Can you describe what is it a shoes on the table or something? I can't distinguish what is this.
So, where is that?
On the coffee table, we have like books. We have this case and some slippers. So what is this?
Yeah, it looks like sandals. I don't know.
Yeah, sandals. Looks like ancient design from Greeks.
Yeah, or something. I don't know. Yeah.
It looks strange.
Yeah. You can see that monitor. That's the old computer monitor. Thing weighs about a ton. Real heavy.
Yeah. But the box behind this monitor is exactly the computer itself. It's you see?
No, that's just one big monitor.
No. Behind the monitor, it's a box which system block.
Under the monitor, right? Okay.
Yeah, under. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes we put it on top of the computer. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I had this type of computers, 20 years ago probably.
Yeah, very old. We don't have horizontal anymore hardly.
Yeah.
They're all towers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll see that there's two lamps on the desk. One's a table lamp that stands up. The other one has a clamp, sometimes called a C clamp.
C clamp.
And you can tighten it, and it holds onto the edge of the table. So we call that a clip-on lamp.
Clip-on lamp. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, nice to know. So I think that's all, right? Nothing more. Okay, let's stop on this moment. Thank you very much for slides, for Sans and everyone. I think it was good to have this discussion and good pictures. Yeah, I got a lot of vocabulary. Yeah, so please, your suggestions as always welcome for a new movie, and see you soon on the next weeks. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.